Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Guys, remember Paul from last year? We had him on the channel. He did a tour of a Class C motorhome that him and his family were traveling cross country in, visiting the Jersey Shore. Well, now he has a 1973 Airstream Globetrotter 21-foot second owner barn find that I'm going to give you a tour of today. So join us. All right, let's get right to it. So a 1973 Airstream Globetrotter 21-foot has a gross vehicle weight rating of 4,500 pounds and approximate dry weight before options of 3,200 pounds. This is all made out of aluminum that's clear coated, and these front panels here are actually stretch formed out. So they're stretched over a jig that Airstream has. They still do it that same way today to give you that curvature. And this trailer is a two-owner, like I said before, and it was sitting in a barn for most of its life, so it has very, very little usage and weathering. And you could tell on these front segments here, with all the little dings, there's not many of them, so it doesn't have a lot of road miles. It's got a semi-panoramic front window. It's got these curved glass windows. This particular model has single pane windows, and they're all aluminum edged. But they open all the way out, that awning style window. You can leave them open in the rain. They have insect screens here. Up front, there is two 30-pound propane bottles. There is a regulator here to switch from left to right bottle. It's got a solid boxed frame, so it's not a C-channel frame, so it's extremely rigid. And it has the original weight distribution kit with the sway bar that goes off the vehicle. There's a 2 5/16 inch ball. And it even has the original plate here that you put the hitch. There's a manual hitch jack here that you crank up and down. There's a 7-way wiring harness, and this particular trailer has electric brakes, so you want to make sure a vehicle would have turn signals, brakes, brake lights, and a charge lead. There's also here a trailer breakaway cable. This will pull out if the trailer becomes detached from the tow vehicle. That will lock the brakes on the trailer. Look at these beautiful cast aluminum marker light housings that are here on this trailer. And this trailer is non-polished. Looks like the original finish. Really cool. Underneath there are stabilizer jacks. All four corners of the trailer has stabilizer jacks. And the whole entire underbelly of the trailer is completely enclosed and wrapped in aluminum, and it is also insulated. That is great if you're going to do some cold weather camping. Gives you a higher threshold of protection. There's another window here that opens, aluminum grab handle, porthole window here. This is called a stacked window. The bottom and top windows are separate. There's a porch light. This is the Airstream Medallion. This is built as a lanyard, but the model is a Globetrotter 21. And the VIN number and the serial number is all right in here. Made in Jackson Center, Ohio, or California back then. They had two different plants. They have one now in Jackson Center, Ohio. The entry door has a single lock. To open it up, it swings all the way around. Right above this lanyard medallion, snaps in place. That keeps it and prevents it from flying around on a windy day. And the screen door itself is all aluminum. Insect screen here, aluminum plate on the top and the bottom. This comes detached and allows the screen door to swing all the way around and locks in place here, and this slides across so the bugs don't fly in there. And you got plenty of ventilation. Look how wide this door is. If you compare that to a typical box style trailer, you will see it's about 1 or 2 inches wider. Over the door, there's an extruded aluminum gutter rail here to prevent sheathing rain from running down into the door. And then there's a porch light over the door. The door itself is insulated. It's got thick insulation in there. Now let's check out the entry step. Pull on this. Step comes out. It's aluminum. This is very familiar because on a brand new 2023 Airstream travel trailer, 50 years later, it's the same exact step. Pull on the back here. Flips over. Flip down. And now you got 2 steps. You don't really need it here. But if you're parked on a really crooked piece of property, that will give you that extra step so you don't have to step really high into that first step. Moving back, we got another large window. This is where the Galley Kitchen is. We're going to be inside momentarily. And there is a Zip D ventilation, a cooktop ventilation here. And then there is a gutter rail, which also doubles as an awning rail up there. So if this particular trailer was built new with the optional patio awning, that's where the awning material would slide into. Up top there, there's a vent for the refrigerator. There's a crank up television antenna, and there's a handle on the inside of the trailer to allow you to crank it up. And you got some vent stacks for the tank. Behind the door, there is a compartment here. It's not a storage compartment, it's a service compartment. So we'll turn, twist, and lift up. And you can see this compartment door is fully insulated, has a gasket, but this gets you behind the propane absorption refrigerator. And then below the trailer, there's an intake vent that will allow the air to naturally rise and vent out the top for the propane fumes. Has 225/75 R15 load range D tires, 65 PSI, and this has a 4,500 pound axle system. Most likely has 10-inch electric drum brakes. It's a rubber torsion axle, so it gives you a really low center of gravity, less moving parts, and they last a really long time. This one, however, looks to be original. Now we'll go into this compartment. You can see here it's got this gutter rail over the top. This flips down, and that is where the battery is stored. This is a Deep Cycle Marine Group 24 series 12 volt battery, and it's a lead acid battery. It's got the caps on the top. It looks like you could fit a larger Group 31 series in here if you decided to do that. And then this locks here so no one steals your battery. There's another stabilizer jack location here, a marker light on the side, and look at this cool thing. This is an outside electrical outlet, so you can plug in stuff when you're camping out underneath the awning. Has this beautiful aluminum cover on it. This is the belt line of the trailer. This is where the two seams of aluminum overlap and riveted. This dresses it up quite a bit. Down here we have the rub rail on the bottom where the body meets the underbelly. Another really cool marker light here. Beautiful cast aluminum taillights. This would have been painted a bright blue back then. You could see the remnants of it. Huge window in the back here. Opens all the way out. Right now it's on the setting number 1 or 2. Check out these cool letters that Airstream had back then, proudly displaying their name. License plate bracket here. Rear bumper lifts up, pull these little clips. This lifts up, gives you access to your shore power cord, which is 30 amps, and it even has the little adapter on the end so you can plug it into a residential outlet. And then here is the wastegate for the black tank dump. So this trailer has just a black tank, no gray tank. Gray tank dumps straight out once you remove the cap. But if you wanted to get to the wastegate, it's right there, that white cap there. Twist that off and you put your waste hose on and pull that lever, and that will empty the black tank, which is the toilet waste. And the little tiny cap in the middle, that is where you hook up a garden hose, and that will allow you to drain out your gray waste tank. Back then it was acceptable to empty gray waste, which is sink and shower, right onto the ground. That's not what we do today. But there's your little fitting for the black tank on the end of the waste hose. And those fittings are really hard to get. You could get them on Vintage Trailer Supply because the new Valterra connection will not work. The industry has switched over the type of wastegate connections. Little ding here on the side, not terrible. Trailer still looks beautiful. And then this will tell you if you have correct polarity when you plug into shore power. This is a 30 amp trailer, but this will indicate if there's a problem, which was common back then. This is the city water connection, so you want to make sure you put a water pressure regulator on your hose before you hook it up to city water to protect your trailer from high spikes in water pressure. But this is where you'd hook up, and that supplies water to all your plumbing in the trailer off the campground's water pressure. Now let me just jump ahead, we'll cover all this. This is your freshwater tank, your potable tank. So you unlock it and you stick the hose in and that gravity fills your tank. And then right behind that on the inside of the trailer is a 12-volt demand water pump, which you turn on. Now pressurize the water system in the trailer. And when you turn on a faucet, it will sense a drop in pressure, kick on the water pump and have water pressure. This is a 6-gallon water heater by Atwood. This water heater is a manual light. So you just spin the dial to the pilot. In most cases you'd hold it, light it right here, make sure it lights, wait about 10 seconds, and then turn it to on, and wait about 15 minutes and you'll have water at a very, very high temperature. Got a pressure relief valve here too for safety. Now, you're gonna see something pretty cool up above here. And you're probably gonna wonder what this thing is. There's two little red lenses here. And when you hook up your Airstream to your tow vehicle and you want to make sure your brake lights are working, normally you'd have someone come all the way back here and check your brake lights and wave and say, yeah, it's fine, we're good. On this trailer, it has a fiber optic line that runs from the taillight to this little housing here. And if your brake lights and turn signals work, you'll see these light up. And you'll be able to look down the side of the trailer and in your side view mirror and see these indicators light up and you'll know your lights are working. Pretty cool. Lanyard was packaged with a lot of cool and upgrades. They also have the internationals from back then, which would have even more upgrades for some of the caravan tours Airstream did. They brought these to Africa and Egypt and Mexico, and some of the trailers were better equipped to handle those types of situations. Another large window here, another stacked window here, and we have the furnace exhaust. This has a Suburban furnace, probably a 12,000 BTU gas furnace with a 12-volt blower. And then there's a drip tube here, probably for the optional air conditioner. So the condensate line that's up top, if you got the optional air conditioner, would run down the side of the trailer through that drip tube instead of running water all the way down the side of your trailer. Another stabilizer jack point here, another marker light. All right, that mostly wraps up the exterior. Things I don't see here, I don't see that they built these with spare tires back then, so it must have been an accessory. Over here is a VIN plate too with production information, gross vehicle weight rating, axle rating. All right, now you guys are waiting for this a long time. We're gonna go inside. I'm gonna give you the lay of the land first. When you walk in, it has a front sofa area, the width of the trailer. This folds out and slides out and makes into a double bed. In the middle of the trailer, there's another gaucho style sofa. This also slides out and makes into a bed. Across from that, you have a center galley kitchen with lots of room, lots of storage. Down the aisle, you walk to the back, has a rear bath with full shower area with a little tub basin on the bottom, vanity, toilet, and a wardrobe. Now that you kind of know the lay of the land, let me dive into the details so you can understand where other things are in this trailer and how well preserved it is. Now, due to things being a little fragile and me working with one hand here because I have the camera in the next, I'm gonna try to be very delicate with this trailer. You can see here it has the original curtains. The window hardware, you just lift up on these handles and you lift, and that will allow it to go into the next groove. There's 3 different grooves here, and these are the locks that lock the windows in place. There's a little ledge here you could lay your coffee on when you're hanging out in the morning, and then there's a cool table here. This slides out on a track. Once you get it up, there's a leg that flips down and locks in place. This bottom piece slides out, and then that will allow this whole tabletop, if you undo the pin here, to flip out. And now you got a table that multiple people can sit at. And because this is on a track, if the table's too far away from the sofa, you could slide it right back into the track there. Really, really cool, unique feature. All right, with the table away, now we'll look up, and there's a couple light switches here on the wall. There's a porch light switch here off to the side. There's some lights underneath the front roof locker area. And these are tambour doors. They're quite delicate, so I'll be very ginger with them. Slide it open here. You got lots of storage back here. This is the Airstream central control. And you can monitor your tanks and batteries. Turn on the water pump from here. You hear that thing running back there. There's a ledge back here for additional storage. And then on this side, the armrest lifts up and there's additional storage in here. And then these tambour doors lift up, and there's little plastic bins in here that you can store a lot of your items in. Fire extinguisher here on the wall. Another electrical outlet here off to the side. If you look up, there's the crank to crank up the television antenna. There's a roof vent here. So what you do is you spin this over. One light, two, three. Got a lot of different lighting control. And then this lid cranks up. And when you crank this handle, when it gets to a certain point, there's a limit switch. And when you get past, it will kick on the fan for you. And that was air conditioning for most back in the day. Another cool thing here I saw, this flips down. You can hang your shirts from this little plastic rod here. An electrical outlet back here, and this is prepped for a TV because it's got a 12-volt socket. So, you know, you could have done a television somewhere in this area. There's a furnace duct here. Water pump is housed right next to the freshwater tank underneath this sofa. There's 3 more tambour doors with plenty of room for additional storage. There's a ledge up here to put some items. Got a light below it, reading light. Furnace control. Then there's more tambour door storage here and here. And you can see how the fabric separates from the doors. It's an easy repair, but it does take a lot of time to do. And there's insulation between the exterior and interior skin. This skin has a sticker applied to it, and it's riveted in place. It's all aluminum, but they dress it up that way from back then. Over here, there's a magazine rack. There's service access points for the refrigerator. This is the original Dometic Refrigerator, gas and electric. And you would manually switch it to gas or electric using these knobs. And you'd manually light the pilot using these knobs. But it's in great shape. And there's a little freezer compartment above. And on the door, you got your dairy, you got your cans, and your bottles. Tell you where to put everything. And when you're traveling, there's a latch that keeps it in place. This is the vent stack that's behind the refrigerator to vent the fumes outside. There's 2 more overhead roof lockers over here. There's a light in this particular area here, a little light switch. Another electrical outlet, 12-volt socket, TV antenna, socket, stainless steel sink, basic faucet. All the manuals are all here in the manual book. And then this window has a shade built into it that you could get some privacy, and you could park it in different positions by hooking the shade underneath these little levers. This is the cooktop ventilation system. In here, most likely would be the lever to turn it on or open the vent. 3-burner gas cooktop, propane gas, manually light it, and then it has, this is a Magic Chef oven, which is manually lit for the pilot too, gas. And then these all slide open to get to all additional storage. And then even this little tiny one opens just a little bit. But it opens all the way around if you wanted to get in there fully. This is a Harvest Gold countertop. Carpet was replaced at one point, but we did pull up sections of the carpet, inspect the floor, and it's dry, and it doesn't even look like it ever had any water on it. And there's no signs of any rot. Another roof vent system here. Spin the little switches here, you get all the little light bulbs that come on. There is a pantry or wardrobe, whatever you'd like to use it for, in this section back here. And that's the furnace is underneath that little box. Then in the back, there's a little lever you lift up, And that's what slides across this bathroom door, so you can just shut that area off and have full privacy when you're taking a shower or using the toilet. Open that up and you get to see the full view out the trailer, out the back at the campground. And that toilet's sort of hidden off to the side, so you're not always staring right at the toilet. In the shower area, we have a shower wand. Shower diverter is down here. There's a little seat here, bench seat, shower basin area. And this is the company that did the fiberglass for them, or plastic, molded plastic. There's a little soap dish. And then this shower curtain slides all the way around and it snaps into the wall here. And that's what keeps this area dry. And it's a pretty decent size shower basin. And I'm 5'9". I got plenty of room in this trailer. I believe the interior headroom is about 6'4.5". There's a sink here molded right into the countertop. Put your soap right there. There's storage below this. This opens up. I don't want to force it, it's stuck on something. You can put your toilet paper in there, and it's got a dual foot pedal on this toilet. One is to fill the bowl, one is to flush the bowl. So you can decide how much water you want in the toilet, and then it has a little sprayer, cleaning sprayer off to the side. That box that the toilet sits on, that is the actual black tank that sits above the floor in an insulated and heated body. Back here, there is a cabinet that lifts up. You got an electrical outlet back there, you got a 12-volt socket, and there's also hidden here a roller shade that rolls down and hooks in, and that gives you privacy. A little towel bar here off to the side, some really cool Wally hooks. These are called Wally hooks. These are Wally Byam's favorite hooks. It actually looks like an elephant trunk, but so you can hang some stuff in here. And then you got a wardrobe, which is mirrored back here with a wardrobe rod, little ledge on the bottom. And then this gives you access to your breaker box, and the univolt or battery charger is also back there. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour today. I want to thank Paul with Freedom Vessel for inviting me over today so I could come out and check out and totally geek out about this 1973 Airstream Globetrotter 21 foot. Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you soon.